We all know the Detroit Lions traded away Matthew Stafford and got Jared Goff with that pack. Well, Goff is actually playing his best football at the moment and has passed for over 2,000 yards to 12 touchdowns and only 5 interceptions. Not only has he been playing well, but this whole Detroit team is playing their best football. You see, Detroit opened up the new 2023 NFL season with a huge win against the Kansas City Chiefs, but it was by 1 point. Then in week 2, they lost the game in overtime against the Seahawks 37-31. Don't let the score fool you, it was an amazing game. However, after week 2, Detroit went on a 4-game winning streak, which they won all 4 games by a big amount. Now, week 7 was a WTF moment as they got blown out by the Ravens 38-6. Detroit only scored once, which was actually very late in the 4th. Honestly, things were just not going their way on that day. But then just very recently on Monday night, they answered perfectly by beating the Raiders 26-14, and that puts them at 6-2 during their bye week. In reality, this offense has a lot of playmakers, and they've been utilizing them in great ways for Jared Goff to succeed. The number 1 guy is Amara St. Brown, and he has been amazing for Detroit. Last season was his 2nd season and finished with over 1,000 receiving yards, and it looks like he's on track to do it again this season as he currently sits at 665 receiving yards with 3 touchdowns. Jamison Williams also returned in early October after the suspension. He hasn't done much yet, but as the season keeps on moving, he will most likely be used in big moments. Josh Reynolds is the other guy in the group. Reynolds is actually in his 8th season, and the last 3 have been with Detroit. He hasn't had a 1,000-yarder season yet in his career, and he probably won't get there this season as well. On the season so far, he has 22 catches for 397 yards and 3 touchdowns. But I had hoped that Khalif Raymond was going to have a big season. He's only at 231 yards with 1 touchdown. Again, still a great weapon to have. On top of that, they just traded for another wideout, Donovan Peoples-Jones, who spent time with the Browns. And this is just another positive move for Detroit. The running back room is quite fun to watch. Rookie Jahmyr Gibbs had his first big career game against the Raiders on Monday night, which we all were waiting for as he ran for 152 yards, and on the season he has 399 yards with 2 touchdowns. On top of that, David Montgomery should be returning from his injury, who is their starting running back on paper, but he does have 6 touchdowns, and that comes with 385 yards rushing the ball. Getting rid of DeAndre Swift was probably not a bad idea, and the way it was done was just fabulous. Plus, these two aren't a bad running back duo. However, we can't forget about the rookie tight end Sam Laporta. I knew this guy was going to fit this offense perfectly, and he clicked right away. This guy could definitely end up being a star and probably a top 5 tight end. The Detroit defense is a real powerhouse. They've been playing great football on the field. My only worry is their health. If they stay healthy, things should be smooth, and the same thing goes for the offense. But when it comes to the defense, it's obvious they are a top 5 defense in the NFL with many talented young players and some great veteran players. Now, looking the rest of this schedule, the Lions have a shot at winning just about all of the rest of their games. The 2 games that might be tough are against the Chargers, which is the game after the Lions bye, and the other game is against the Cowboys late in the season. Honestly, they have a chance of beating both of those teams, especially if they start out fast. But a lot of this credit needs to go to head coach Dan Campbell. What a great job he's done for this organization so far. It's very simple. The Detroit Lions are an exiting mess, and they're going to win the NFC North. Bitch, we some stars, pull up in foreign car.